How to lose stubborn fat in 1 week. Mike Diamonds, that's me. I decided to make a drastic change in my life. Got on a diet, threw out all the trash foods in my apartment and documented the journey. Start. My weight was 196.8, waist measurement at 84 centimeters, and 20.6 pounds later, weighing at 176.2 pounds and a waist at 77 centimeters, I've lost a significant amount of weight. But the battle was won, it's time to go to war. Stubborn fat. There's a scientific approach to losing it, and in this video, I'll be explaining 3 simple ways to get rid of stubborn fat. The simple science of fat loss. It dictates that your weight gain and weight loss is known as your energy balance. Energy balance is the relationship between the energy you feed your body and the energy it expends. As you probably know, this is often measured in kilocalories. You can also look at it this way. Every day, your body stores fat when you eat food and burns fat when it runs out of food energy. Visually, it looks something like this. The green portions are the periods where the body has excess energy due to eating food. The blue portions are the periods when the body has no energy left from food and thus has to burn fat for energy. By now, I'm sure you understand that you need to be in a negative energy balance, a caloric deficit, to be able to lose fat. But what about the last few pounds of stubborn fat? I'm 6 weeks out. What I'm going to show you 4 tips that I'm using. I'm not just preaching it, I'm living it. That has been helping me and is helping me to lose that last few pounds. And I'll go through them with you step by step. First, let me explain how it works exactly, starting off with tip number 1. Before I jump into the 4 tips, I think it's important to understand the mechanism of action of fat loss. When your body needs to be able to mobilize fat, your body releases a chemical called catecholamine. It attaches to the fat receptors and mobilizes the fat out of the cell into the bloodstream to be utilized as energy. Now, where the difference comes between normal fat and stubborn fat depends on the alpha and beta receptors on that particular fat. Now, to distinguish the two, beta receptors stimulate the mobilization of fat loss and alpha receptors hinder it or inhibit the mobilization of fat loss. And where stubborn fat comes is that there's more alpha receptors on a particular cell compared to beta receptors. It all depends on the ratio. But there are tricks and tips that we can do to be able to stimulate the beta receptors to be able to lose that stubborn fat. And that will come with tip number 1, which is fasting. So according to the study, there are 2 reasons why fasting is so great for fat loss. The first one is oxidation rates of free fatty acids are roughly doubled after fasting. The second one is that abdominal subcutaneous blood flow is increased by 50%, which means that blood flow containing all those catecholamines are directly targeted to your subcutaneous stomach. And that does help with fat loss. Now, something that I do is intermittent fasting, where you fast for 16 hours and you eat within an 8-hour window period. So if your last meal the previous day was at 10 p.m., you fast all the way till 2 p.m., and you eat between the 2 and 10 p.m. window period. So you fast for 16 hours and you eat within the 8-hour window period, or whichever way is more beneficial to you. That's one. Another thing that I also do is have black coffee. Now, the caffeine has been shown to improve fat oxidation. It also gives you a lot more energy, so your calorie expenditure is a lot higher. So I have my coffee and then I'm going to training. When I'm in the gym, I'm going to talk about another tip I'm doing in the gym that is directly helping me with fat loss, especially the stubborn fat leading up to comp. I've been doing, I train fasted, and it has helped with being able to get rid of that stubborn fat. And this research here supports that. Now, this test and these results indicate that post-absorptive exercise has advantage of promoting fat use. Exercising in a fasted state with very low insulin, so not eating any food, has been very, very beneficial in terms of being able to use fat. If you think about it, if your body's in a fasted state, there's no energy that you have from your food. Where else is it going to get it? It's going to have to get it from your fat sources. So training in the morning or whenever in a fasted period is beneficial for fat loss. The third tip that I can offer is doing high-intensity interval training, especially in a fasted state. Now, high-intensity interval training has shown to elevate levels of catecholamine, which does help mobilize fat, and especially doing that in a fasted state with all that blood going to your midsection, it will help you lose that stubborn fat. So how to perform HIIT: do bouts of maximum sprinting for a good 30 seconds as I'm doing right now, and then after that for a minute walk at a steady pace. Challenge yourself and repeat the cycle 20 times, however long you want to do it.